going on, people? Welcome back to League M for the match review. Sheffield United 2, Chelsea 2. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get straight into the game and leave the commentary for later. I don't even know where to start. We started the game on the front foot, applying pressure at every opportunity. Didn't take too long to register our first goal. Thiago Silva back in the team, back in the goals. We met Gallagher's cross from a corner very well. A volley inside the box. That is just telling of the state of our opponents. You understand? For Thiago Silva to be afforded that much space to have a volley from a corner, that was a great goal. That was a good goal. And you'd expect that we'd apply more pressure from there. Try to kill the game off. When you score early, that is always what you should be looking to do. And we didn't do that. We sort of just slowed the game down. Initially, I thought it was because, we were being patient and controlling the game and, just trying to pick them apart for us to score the second goal. But we were not really applying that much pressure like we did for us to score the first goal. And during that period, we've had some questionable moments where some mistakes done at the back could have easily ended up in us conceding. Nothing resulted in us conceding yet. It only took one moment for Sheffield United to get in behind our defense, just for them to convert their first real chance of the game. Jadon Bogle with the first post finish. I think Petrovic was at fault for that. I think if he had just stood his ground in that moment, not anticipate a cutback, let the defenders deal with the cutback, guard your first post. That was not supposed to be a goal. That was the wrong call made by Petrovic in that moment, and he's had a couple of those in recent weeks. And the last 10-15 minutes of the first half, we sort of just allowed Sheffield some spells on the ball for them to play the ball a bit. We were not controlling the game like we did when we had the lead, and nothing came of it, thankfully, but it was really a sign of things to come in the second half. And I think it shouldn't be a surprise at this point in the season that we start the second half poor again. Sheffield were now just comfortable at home. Not much was done, I feel, from both teams for a good 20 minutes. It just felt like we needed a bit of individual quality to hope to do something in this half. And that moment came. We got the ball on the break. Palmer spots Madueke making a run, plays a good ball to him that breaks the defensive line. Madueke cuts in and just smashes it in Grebic's top bins. That was a great goal from him. You could see that was a goal that he's been waiting to get. He tried that technique a couple of more times before he scored that goal. He really wanted that, and that was what I thought he would bring into the team, the running in behind, taking on players 1v1, and he got rewarded for his efforts. And from then on, we've been on and off. We haven't really created anything clear cut, and when it looked like we would, there was just poor decisions being made on the ball, indecisiveness on the ball. Jackson had a couple of moments where he just didn't know what to do on the ball. Didn't know whether to just go for goal himself or play other guys in. I think that for me was what was frustrating about the performance. Never mind the defensive performance. Going forward, we were just not on it. In the final minutes of the 90, there were a couple of panicky moments at our back line. It really looked like Sheffield would equalize, but our defense was somewhat resolute. Petrovic made some good saves. And now with the game being almost finished, just one more set piece to defend, the manager decides to make substitutions while we're defending the set piece. I'm not a coach. I do not have the proper licensing to practice coaching, but even I know that you do not make substitutions, especially defensive substitutions, when defending a set piece, because then somehow it almost always goes wrong. That's just not the way to go. When that happens, the very same guys who came in to defend the set piece fail to do so. They fail to clear their lines. Sheffield have the ball. They played into the box quickly. Olie McBurnie is onside. I feel like I said something. There was something that I said about this moment being likely to happen. Roll the clip.
There shouldn't be any complacency, because if there is, then we're opening the door to the likeliness of yet another unwanted result. Given our poor record on set pieces and counter-attacks and such, affording the opportunity to the likes of Ben Brereton Diaz and Olie McBurnie would be very costly.
Olie McBurnie is onside. He's 1v1 with the keeper, and the keeper sort of just makes the decision for him by not coming out and, just making it difficult, making himself bigger. All McBurnie needs to do is just toe poke it in the net, and it's 2-2. The game is done. We're all losing our heads. It's just icing on top of a disaster class of a performance. And now, to better understand how horrible this performance was, you need to look at the state of our opponents. This is a team that are bottom of the league, for one. This is a team who have a minus 52. Is it minus 52? It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's in the negative. The goal difference is a lot, and it's in the negative. And we did not affect that goal difference yesterday. This is a team that concede at least 5 goals every other week. This is a team you're supposed to beat. This is a team you should. Any result other than a win is inexcusable. There was a whole lot wrong with the performance, the in-game management, the team selection. Team selection, one being Gallagher in the left wing. We had 2 natural left wingers in the team who could have maybe provided a better balance to the squad, because Gallagher was at left wing and he wasn't even playing that role, you understand. Correa was essentially just alone in that left side. He had to hold it down on his own, the whole left side, going forward and in defense as well. He had no help whatsoever. I'm not going to lie, I thought Cole Palmer in the 10 I thought he'd be good in the 10, but I guess I was wrong, because he didn't even affect the game that much. He had to drop deep so many times. There was no link between the midfield and the attack, and I guess Palmer had to be moved for Madueke to come in, which is understandable, but I don't think I ever want to see Palmer in the 10 again. Gallagher on the left wing, that was so wrong on so many levels. I feel he would have been better placed in one of the pivot positions so that we play a natural left winger on the left side. There was no play on that left side as well. At least then we'd have another option, play out of another player to cause problems for the Sheffield defense. And that just wasn't there. And Gallagher was never going to be that player to do that. Madueke produced the only great moment for us in the game, and he gets subbed out. Why? And then the subs that were made at the end did not really help us at all. I feel like we'd have been better off without making those subs. With all that being said, you just wonder what the plan is with this man. What are we hoping to do? And what are we hoping to achieve from now till the end of the season? If the performances are going to stay the way that they are, we cannot hope to finish in the European places, we cannot hope to do anything significant in these final games, because we're just going to keep dropping points. You know, we're going to keep allowing our opponents to just get back into the game, to outplay us. We essentially allowed Sheffield to outplay us today. This is a team with such a low goal difference that we've allowed to have more shots at goal than us, more shots on target than us. This really was an opportunity to win some 3 points and give us a good chance of finishing possibly in the top 6, and we just had another major setback. Every team we drop points to, it sets us back 100, because this is not the only team we drop points to. This is not the only relegation threatened team we've dropped points to. Not so long ago, we dropped points against a team with 10 men, with their manager having been banished to the stands as well. We somehow allowed them to get back into the game. Going forward, we can't even hope, we can't even be optimistic coming into a game against the likes of Everton, let alone Aston Villa and Arsenal and Manchester City in the cup. How are we supposed to grow in confidence? How are we supposed to back a manager when every week, if it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not team selection, it's in-game management. Sometimes it's both. Like yesterday, if it's not questionable substitutions, it's questionable interviews, it's constantly throwing your players under the bus. And now I understand that it's not only on him. I'm not putting this all on him. There's a whole lot wrong at this club, and it goes all the way to the top. This is the last time I speak about the coaching issues. I feel like I've spoken enough about how going forward, I don't feel that this man is the right man to take us forward. This man has not been getting the best out of these players. We've had to rely a whole lot on individual brilliance to affect our games, and it's just not good enough in my opinion. We've spoken a lot about how there's no structure on the ball. Structure off the ball tends to not be there as well. Horrible in-game management, just questionable decisions. And I don't know how many times I've had to explain this to people, that these are the things that you have to look at and understand and see. You make your conclusion based on that, whether or not a manager is whether or not someone is the right man for the job. If these things are key. This is the last time I speak about this. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the game. Also, before I end off the video, I'd like to just give a shout out to Jadon and Stasia, because they actually saw the result coming. Stasia had predicted a draw, but Jadon actually got the score prediction right, so I just thought I'd give them a shout out. But anyways, and thank you for being with me on this one. I will see you on the next video. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe if you're new, and yeah man, keep it M.